Raheem Morris is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Alex, I have to when I saw this come up on my phone, right? I've been refreshing Twitter like most of the Falcons fans pretty much regularly every 5 minutes. I saw the Schefter tweet, and I'm not going to lie. My jaw, and I say this seriously, I wouldn't have been surprised by a lot. I was very, very shocked. What was your initial reaction?
Shocked is an understatement. I'm not smart enough to give you a nuanced explanation of how I was feeling other than shocked. I'm just a dumb sports fan. But the fact is most fans were shocked, if not all fans were shocked, because this entire process has basically centered around Bill Belichick. And at that, it was kind of Bill Belichick versus Rich McKay. And at a certain point, these are, respected media pundits coming out and said Arthur Blank is desperate to hire Bill Belichick. Josina Anderson went as far to say, I expect the Falcons to hire Bill Belichick. The betting sites, if you went and put a bet on it, everybody had Bill Belichick as the overwhelming favorite to be the Falcons head coach because Blank was enamored with the idea of adding who many consider to be the greatest coach of all time to his staff. So I think that if you weren't shocked, you're either lying, you need to tell me some lottery numbers, or I don't even know. Because the fact of the matter is Raheem Morris was one of the top candidates in terms of this hiring cycle. But the fact also is that this team passed him over 3 years ago in favor of Arthur Smith and then just hired him again. It's a terrible look for the organization, and I didn't think that Blank was going to be able to muster the courage to admit he was wrong. He basically, with this hire, admitted in so many words without saying them, the last 3 years were a total waste of time.
Yeah, I think that was the most shocking aspect to me. I pretty much had I don't want to say I wrote him off because I can't write. You can never predict what the Falcons are going to do. They're so poorly run.
You can always expect the Falcons to do the most Falcon thing ever.
And this was just about it. And this is my whole thing. I don't want to rag on Raheem Morris. I really do believe he deserves a chance in this league. And we just talked about all the positives. And he deserves a real shot with a good team. And he's going to get that in Atlanta most likely as long as they can get a quarterback under center. But this entire process from Rich McKay to Arthur Blank, it just seems so disorganized. And we talk about it all the time, whether you're a college coach, whether you're a college program or a pro. You need, if you're going to fire a head coach, especially one like Arthur Smith, who we don't really know if he necessarily deserved to be fired considering the quarterback position was such a mess and he seemed to be squeezing a pretty good amount of wins for what the talent was on the roster. If you're going to fire a coach like that, you have to have a plan in mind. And let me tell you something, guys, there was a plan in mind. I think it was James Palmer, I believe that's his name, from NFL Network, said the Falcons started vetting Bill Belichick in the middle of the season. And then the reports come out after Arthur Smith's fired, actually before he's fired, that some NFC South team is really enamored. Guys, let me give you a fill-in. No other team interviewed Bill Belichick. Who was that NFC South team before Arthur Smith was even fired? It was the Falcons. And then boom, he's the favorite. He's the front runner. Everyone expects him to. They had a plan in place and they went away from it. They took a detour in favor of Raheem Morris, who you could say, oh, they had there's no real backup plans. They got scared. They got scared because no one else was interviewing Bill Belichick, which is embarrassing. If you have a plan in place and you believe in something, have some conviction in doing it. Going from Arthur Smith to Raheem Morris, and we talked about this before the show, Alex, would you expect Raheem Morris to get more wins out of the roster the Falcons had over the last 3 seasons than Arthur Smith? If your answer is no, how is this a good process? And I'm not saying it's a good hire or a bad hire because we didn't love the Bill Belichick idea. But if you have that idea and you have that plan and you have it in place, and the reason you didn't go and do that is 1, you got scared, or 2, you're in love with Rich McKay and you can't fire a guy who's done nothing but bad things for this organization over the last decade plus. I'm sorry. I'm heated. It's a joke. It is a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it right on the nail on the hammer. You have to have conviction in what you believe in. Guess who didn't? Also, a lot of people didn't have interest in Tom Brady. He delivered a Super Bowl to Tampa Bay. The fact is, Me and Chase were never, Bill Belichick wasn't even our top 3, top 5 wish list for the Falcons head coach. But what we, from the surface level, from what all the fans know, what we know, it was always Bill Belichick and Arthur Blank let Rich McKay in his ear and basically convince him otherwise. And again, I have to preface this because I know that somebody's going to take this out of context, that we are going to give Raheem Morris a fair shake. We both believe he deserves a shot. We both believe he was a good candidate. All we're doing is analyzing the process. And the process tells me that Arthur Blank was, in fact, panicking and in disarray, like Zach Klein said he was, who Zach Klein then backtracked and said that he wasn't panicking. Well, it came out of your mouth. So obviously you felt in some capacity. And you know what? This hire tells me that you were panicking, and that, above all else is Arthur Blank has not once made a move, decision, or anything that was a resounding success or liked among the fan base. And I know you're not going to please everybody, but every single decision he's really ever made has been incredibly divisive.
I can't tell you. And like I said, I always want to preface
He never unites the fan base. That's the worst thing. He's never united the fan base.
This is not Raheem Morris's fault. This is the fact that, yes, we had fun with this coaching search. We had fun playing the rumor game. We had fun talking for 3 weeks about something other than the crappy product that has been put on the field for the last 6 seasons. Like, we finally got the most exciting part of the Falcons for the last 6 years has been 2 hiring cycles. I mean, this is pathetic. This is pathetic, and there's no signs of it getting fixed, and I'm just sick of it. Like, I want to get back to the real problem at hand. It's Arthur Blank. It's Rich McKay. It's the product on the field. Has nothing to do with Raheem Morris. And sure, maybe Raheem Morris can come in and fix it, and maybe we get a quarterback, because that's really all that it comes down to, right? If we had a quarterback with Arthur Smith, we would have been fine. But it's just so frustrating that there's no rhyme or reason to anything that these idiots, these weasels do.
No, there's no rhyme or reason, and that's the issue. The fact of the matter is ask yourself this question and be honest. We don't have to go back to the last 3 years and talk about Arthur Smith versus Raheem Morris. Just go back to 2023. Do you think that Raheem Morris would win more games than Arthur Smith in 2023? If your answer is no, then this was a lateral move for the Falcons. And I believe the fact of the matter is it didn't matter if it was Bill Belichick, Raheem Morris, Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Anthony Weaver, whoever your favorite, Jim Harbaugh, whoever your favorite head coaching candidate was for the Falcons this hiring cycle, all of them would have failed with Desmond Ridder. The fact of the matter is the quarterback position is the most important position in sports. It covers up a lot of deficiencies on your roster, on your coaching staff, and you're seeing it firsthand with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers was the reason Mike McCarthy has that Super Bowl ring, and the only reason. The fact is the quarterback position, you cannot win a Super Bowl. It is very hard to win a Super Bowl without having the quarterback position figured out and at least getting average quarterback play. Desmond Ridder was a bottom 5 quarterback in the league, and he held this team back. And until they fix the quarterback position, Raheem Morris is going to ultimately fail as well.
Yeah, like I said, and he's not going to get a fair shake. I'm telling you, he's not going to get a fair shake. Which is
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
But it's because of the Blank, and it's because of the McKays, and it's because of the last 6 years. Like, I am sick of it, dude. I am sick of it. I am tired of I am watching playoff football, and I'm like, dang. I mean, it's gotten so bad over the last 6 years. I've almost I wake up on Sundays, and I'm like, do I even love the NFL anymore? No, it's just because my team sucks. It's just because my team sucks. Like, I remember 2016. It was the best year of my life. I remember 2012, great years. We had a product on the field that every Sunday I was like, let's go, we're Falcons. I could actually talk crap to fans. I mean, there is nothing here for Falcons or their fans, and there has been nothing here for the last 6 years, and I am sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it, and none of this has to do with Raheem Morris, and that's what I'm saying. We're speaking for most Falcons fans here. And if we go out there and go 6-11 next year, Raheem Morris is going to get shredded by the fan base, and it's not even his fault. It's not even his fault. It is not at all his fault. Coming up out of the break, I do want to get into Rich McKay and his whole involvement. The Falcons made an announcement last night. We are going to talk about it.